Hey everyone, welcome back to Go English. I'm Mizu.
And I'm Lucas. It's so good to have you here.
Before we get started, we just want to let everyone know that today we're taking a short break from our 30 Days to Build Your English Identity series because so many of you asked us to explain when and while. Don't worry though, we'll be back with day 11 tomorrow.
Yep. So, if you're new here, definitely check out the playlist in the description below. It's a great place to build your speaking confidence one day at a time. All right. Now, how's your week been, Mizu?
Pretty good. Actually, a little busy. I've been juggling a lot of things lately. What about you, Lucas?
Same here. Yesterday was kind of funny, though. I was making coffee and I somehow managed to spill it all over my shirt.
Of course you did. That sounds exactly like something you'd do.
Hey, it was an accident. But then I realized something. When I told my friend the story, I said, I spilled my coffee while I was making it, not when I was making it.
Oh, that's actually interesting because a lot of English learners hear when and while all the time, but they're never quite sure which one sounds right.
Exactly. Sometimes both seem possible. Sometimes only one works, and choosing the wrong one can make your sentence sound a little unnatural.
The good news is, it's actually much simpler than most people think. Today, we're going to look at how native speakers really use when and while in everyday conversations, with lots of natural examples and plenty of speaking practice.
So, by the end of this lesson, you won't be memorizing grammar rules. You'll know which one feels natural because you'll hear how people actually use them.
All right, let's jump in. Lucas, can I ask you something?
Always.
When you hear a sentence, do you actually think, should I use when or while?
Never. Not even for a second.
Really?
Because I'm not thinking about the words. I'm thinking about the scene. What's happening? What am I looking at?
The scene, not the grammar. I like that.
Exactly. Imagine you're watching a movie. Sometimes your eyes catch the exact moment something happens. Other times, you're watching an action that's already in progress. That's the only question I'm asking.
So the choice comes naturally because you're looking at the situation first.
Right. And once you start thinking that way, when and while suddenly become much easier.
All right. Let's see exactly what you mean.
Before we look at any examples, there's one thing I want you to pay attention to.
Not grammar?
Definitely not grammar. Just one simple question. When you hear a sentence, don't look at the words first. Picture the scene.
Like making a little movie in my head.
Exactly. Because English isn't just words, it's pictures. Native speakers almost always imagine what's happening.
So instead of asking, which grammar should I use, I should ask, what do I see?
That's it. And here's something interesting. Sometimes your eyes land on one moment. Sometimes they stay on an action that's already happening.
Ah, so my attention can move in different ways.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to explore. Let's start with the first one.
All right. Let's try it. No rules, just the feeling.
Perfect. Listen to this. When my alarm went off, I jumped out of bed. What caught your attention?
The alarm. That's the moment my brain noticed.
Exactly. One moment. Everything starts there. Another one. When I opened my email, I saw the good news.
Same feeling. My attention goes straight to opened my email. That's the turning point.
Exactly. Before that, nothing had happened yet. One more. When the lights went out, everyone stopped talking.
Ooh, I can almost see it. Everything changes at that moment.
That's why when feels so natural here. Your attention lands on the moment that changes the story.
Not the whole scene, just the moment something happens.
Exactly. Whenever you naturally focus on, then this happened, that's where when usually feels right. All right, now let's change the picture. Ready?
Yep.
Listen carefully. While I was making breakfast, my wife was helping the kids get ready for school. What do you notice?
Nothing really happens. It's just morning life.
Exactly. Try another one. While we were waiting for the train, we were talking about our weekend.
Oh, I don't picture one big event. I picture two people just standing there chatting.
Right. One more. While I was working, my phone kept buzzing.
Interesting. My attention doesn't jump to while, it stays with the activity. I almost feel like I'm spending time inside that moment.
That's exactly it. With while, you're not pointing at one moment. You're spending time inside an activity.
I like that. It feels less like, look what happened, and more like, here's what was going on.
Perfect. That's the feeling.
Lucas, can I try something?
Go for it.
How about these? When I got home, I took off my shoes. While I was walking home, I was listening to a podcast. They feel really different.
Exactly. Why?
The first one feels like there's one moment I'm telling you about. I got home. That's the point.
Yup. And the second?
It feels like you're inviting me into part of your day. I'm walking, I'm listening. Life is just moving.
Exactly. You're not pointing at a moment. You're describing what life looked like during that time.
Oh, so if I tell a story, I can actually choose the feeling.
Exactly. If the important thing is, this happened, when feels natural. If the important thing is, this was going on, while usually feels natural.
That actually feels much easier than memorizing rules, because I'm thinking about my story, not my grammar.
Exactly. And that's why native speakers don't stop to translate. They simply tell the story the way they see it. All right, Mizu. Quick challenge. Same situation, but tell it two different ways.
Ooh, okay, I'm listening.
First one. While I was walking my dog, it started to rain. What kind of picture do you get?
I can almost see myself walking, the dog sniffing everything, and then rain.
Exactly. Now change it. When it started to rain, I was walking my dog.
Oh, that's interesting. It feels like the rain is suddenly the important part.
Right. Nothing changed in real life. Same dog, same walk, same rain.
Only the way I'm telling the story changed.
Exactly. One sentence invites me into your afternoon. The other points me to the moment your afternoon changed.
That's actually a really helpful way to think about it. Not which word, but what do I want people to notice?
Exactly. That's the question.
You know, this actually happened to me last week.
Uh-oh. I already want to hear this.
I was at the supermarket, just buying a few things, nothing unusual. Then this little kid looked at me and said, "Mom?"
Oh, no. What did you do?
I just stood there. I didn't even know how to react. Then he looked at me again and immediately realized, wrong person. His face was priceless.
Poor little guy. Okay, now tell me that story in English, just naturally.
All right. While I was shopping, a little boy called me Mom. Then, when he looked at me again, he realized I wasn't his mom.
That sounded really natural. Did you even think about when or while?
Honestly? No. I was just remembering what happened.
Exactly. You weren't building a grammar sentence, you were telling me a story.
Oh, I think that's why it felt easy. The shopping was simply what was going on. The little boy realizing his mistake, that was the moment I wanted you to remember.
Exactly. And that's how these two words usually work together in real conversations. Not because someone memorized a rule, but because that's how stories naturally unfold.
I like that. It feels much more like talking and a lot less like doing homework.
That's the goal. If you can picture your story, the words usually come much more naturally.
Lucas, can I ask you something?
Of course.
We've barely talked about grammar today. Was that on purpose?
Absolutely. Because if we started with grammar, most people would memorize the rule without really understanding it.
Yeah, I think that's what I used to do. But now I'm actually curious. So what's the grammar behind all this?
Perfect. Because now the grammar actually has a reason. Let's look at these two sentences. While I was cooking, when the phone rang. Do you notice anything?
After while, I see was cooking. After when, I see rang.
Good observation. And yes, that's a pattern you'll hear very often in stories. Think about while first. While takes you inside a situation that's already happening. You're already in the middle of it. That's why you'll often hear things like, while I was studying, while they were talking, while we were driving. Those actions were already in progress.
So it feels like the camera is already rolling. We're already inside the scene.
Exactly. Now think about when. When usually introduces the moment your listener should notice. The phone rings, someone arrives, a door opens, something changes. So you'll often hear, when the phone rang, when she arrived, when I opened the door. Those moments move the story forward.
Oh, so while gives me the background, and when points to the moment that stands out.
Exactly. You felt that difference long before we talked about grammar. Now, the grammar simply explains what you already understood.
I actually like learning it this way. The rule finally makes sense, instead of just being another grammar chart.
Exactly. And here's one more thing. Don't worry if you sometimes hear when plus was, were, verb in, or while plus past simple. Those are completely natural too. Native speakers use both because we're not thinking, which grammar rule should I use? We're thinking, what's happening in my story? Once you know the story you want to tell, choosing the grammar becomes much easier.
So the pattern is helpful, but the meaning always comes first.
Exactly. Feel the story first, then the grammar follows. That's how English starts to feel natural, instead of something you're constantly trying to remember. All right, Mizu, let's see if today's lesson really clicked. No grammar rules, no overthinking. Just picture the situation and say what comes naturally.
Okay, I'm a little nervous. Let's do it.
First one. You're reading a book. Suddenly, your phone rings.
While I was reading, my phone rang.
That came up pretty quickly. Did you notice?
Yeah, I didn't stop to think about the grammar. I just imagined myself sitting there, reading, and then, ring, ring.
Exactly. Okay, one more. Everyone was walking quietly through the forest. Then, someone shouted, "Look, a deer!"
While we were walking, someone shouted, "Look, a deer!"
Nice. Again, you pictured the scene first. The grammar came afterwards. When you stop choosing grammar and start seeing the story, your English becomes much faster and much more natural.
So if you're watching this, don't ask yourself, which rule should I remember? Ask yourself, what's happening in this scene?
Exactly. If you can see the story, the grammar usually follows on its own.
All right, before you go, we've got a tiny challenge for you.
Write a short story in the comments, just 2 sentences. Use while once and when once. It can be something that happened today, last week, or even years ago.
We'll be reading the comments, so don't worry about making it perfect. Just tell a real story.
Because the more real your story is, the easier this grammar becomes.
If today's lesson helped you, don't forget to give the video a like. And if you know someone who's always mixing up when and while, send this lesson to them.
And if you're enjoying learning with us, make sure you subscribe to Go English. We've got plenty more everyday English coming your way.
Thanks so much for spending a little time with us today.
Take care, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
Your English journey doesn't end here. Click on the next video and keep learning with us. We've carefully selected it to help you build more confidence, more fluency, and more real-world English.